Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to another VSTEP practice speaking test. Today in part 1, social interaction, we'll give you examples for music and English.
Xin chào tất cả các em, chào mừng các em quay trở lại với một bài thi nói VSTEP mẫu nữa. Trong phần 1 tương tác xã hội, thầy cô sẽ đưa cho các em ví dụ về hai chủ đề, đó là âm nhạc và tiếng Anh.
Part 2, solution discussion. We'll talk about photography, swimming, and dancing.
Phần 2, thảo luận giải pháp, chúng ta hãy cùng bàn luận về khiêu vũ, bơi lội và nhiếp ảnh.
Finally, in part 3, topic development, we're going to discuss culture and language.
Cuối cùng trong phần số 3, phát triển chủ đề, chúng ta hãy cùng trao đổi về văn hóa và ngôn ngữ.
So with nothing more to say, let's get started. Let us help you get a better VSTEP score.
Nào chúng ta cùng bắt đầu thôi và hãy để thầy cô giúp các em có một bài thi nói VSTEP đạt điểm cao hơn.
Part 1, Topic 1, Music. Do you like music? If yes, what kind of music do you like best and why?
Yes, I really do. I love pop music the most because it has a good rhythm, a catchy melody, and it is easy to remember and sing along with.
That's great. What is the most popular kind of music in your country?
I believe pop music is the most favored here. Its lyrics are usually about joys and problem of love and relationships, which are feeling everybody experiences, so they love songs that express these.
Okay. So how is music good or not so good for some people?
There is no question that there are benefits to proper music, such as lessening anxiety, creating happiness and relaxation, improving memory, etc. However, when music brings negativity to us, like violence, tension, anger, and creates bad behavior, it can lead to arguing, and that is a harmful type of music, in my opinion.
All right, topic 2, English. Did you learn English at secondary school?
Yes, I remember I did, although we mostly just learned by reading and writing in textbooks. We rarely had any opportunity to improve our listening and speaking skills. We didn't have any native teachers to practice with.
What do you think about how English is taught in schools now?
As far as I'm concerned, the way English is taught at school now is getting much better. Students get exposure to foreign or native speakers that helps to make their listening and speaking skills go through the roof.
In what ways have children improved their English?
As I see it, English-speaking environments play the most important role in helping children developing communication skills. They practice what they learn and have much more confidence. What's more, the development of technology is also a good helper. Children not only learn English in classrooms, but also everywhere they go with an internet-connected device.
All right. Part 2, Solution Discussion. An optional subject will be added to the curriculum in secondary schools in your city. Which subject do you think is the best? Photography, swimming, or dancing?
If one of these subjects is added to the curriculum, I would suggest photography for the following reasons. Firstly, it would surely be an engaging subject, since it would also be the first time students learn something not followed by examination, but more for a new hobby. They may feel more excited than they do with the other subjects, seeing the learning environment is flexible and relaxing. Secondly, photography will help students reduce stress. I mean, really, how much can you concentrate on that all-consuming problem when you turn your focus instead to petals of a flower, the wings of a butterfly, or the graceful curves of the majestic mountain, or the dimples of a smiling baby? Lastly, photography will absolutely inspire students' imagination to grow and care about details, meaning they will become more patient. It encourages their creativity and it helps them to come up with new ideas. I doubt very much that will get boring. In comparison, swimming can increase the risk of certain injuries. This is because of the repetitive movements of swimming can sometimes be harmful to your joints and tendons. As a result, swimming increases the risk of tendinitis, which tend to appear when you do more exercise than recommended. It can affect the joints and is usually quite painful. Furthermore, dancing can be dangerous for those not physically fit. Dance is not only physically challenging, but it presents a high risk of injury. Twisted ankles, broken legs, sprained twists, and banged-up knees are all common injuries for dancers. In conclusion, I think photography is the best choice over the others. Taking swimming as an optional subject for secondary students, I can see a couple advantages here. At first, it helps you slim down. When you swim, your body must confront the force of water, but you almost don't even realize the extra effort it takes. The added resistance stimulates your metabolism, which means that you burn more calories. Therefore, you also increase the ability to lose weight, which will be valuable since we see more and more obesity in schools. Next, swimming helps to prevent diseases. When you swim, you help improve your health and strengthens the immune system, which reduces the cases of cold and the flu during the winter time. Finally, swimming definitely reduces stress. Swimming favors the production of dopamine, which is responsible for how we feel pleasure. In addition to this, these activities also helps reduce anxiety, allows for mental relaxation, and lowers stress. On the other hand, photography is an expensive subject to learn, seeing each student has to own a camera to practice. Besides that, dancing requires a lot of time practicing. Therefore, students won't have enough hours in a day for other subjects, hobbies, or friends and family. To conclude, swimming is the best choice in this situation. From my point of view, dancing is my choice due to both the physical and mental benefits. In the first place, it improves your physical health and fitness. At its core, dancing is a cardiovascular exercise. It might not seem like it, but you're having fun twirling and moving to music rather than being bored just sitting around. Secondly, it improves your sociability and can help conquer shyness. Dancing is all about interacting with your partner and creating connections. If you're having trouble approaching strangers or relating to people in social situations, dancing can help with those fears. Finally, it provides a new experience. Not only when you discover a culture through dance, you will also find a culturally diverse dancer population. You know well that interaction improves your health by expanding your mind and sharing your spirit. Conversely, providing swimming as an optional subject for all secondary students in the city would need a considerable amount of swimming pools. Taking under consideration that most schools do not have a swimming pools nor the budgets to begin building new ones. Furthermore, photography is not a basic thing that all students need. It is mostly for someone who has a passion for it. In short, dancing would be the best in comparison to photography and swimming.
Part 3, Topic Development. Discuss the topic Language and Culture as guided in the outline below.
There is no doubt that language and culture are intertwined. Learning a language and getting to know its culture is to communicate better. A particular language usually points out to a specific group of people. When you interact with another language, it means that you are also interacting with the culture that speaks the language. You cannot understand one's culture without assessing its language directly. And you can't learn the language well without knowing the culture. Moreover, language is absolutely the best means of culture. It means when you learn a new language, it not only involves in learning its alphabet, the words arrangement, the rules of grammar, but also learning about the specific customs and behavior of that society. When learning or teaching a language, it is important that the culture where the language belongs be referenced, because language is very much ingrained in the culture. Besides that, I also want to mention about the culture shock to grow positively. Most often, we feel culture shocked because the new culture has different rules from our own. We get upset when the new society's unspoken rules, gestures, and assumptions about behavior are not the same as our own. Culture shock can be best described as emotional disorientation characterized by feelings of shock and anxiety. It occurs when you are placed in a foreign environment far away from your hometown, family, and friends. Most people experience a degree of homesickness and distress at the start of their travels. Being exposed to a different language, sight, smells, people, and an entirely new culture can be both exhilarating and overwhelming experience.
Great. Do you think it's good to understand other people's culture?
Yes, I obviously do. Reading people is one of the principal skills to build your impact and succeed in life.
What would you introduce first to a foreigner about Vietnamese culture?
We are proud of our ancestor worship ritual. It is one of the beauties of Vietnamese culture. Vietnamese people don't forget their origins. Most of them have an ancestor altar at their home or business. On a special day like a Tết holiday, the 1st or the 15th day of the month, in accordance with the lunar calendar, Vietnamese people often burn incense and have offerings with fruit or special items.
That's very good. Tell me, what would you like to learn most about English-speaking cultures?
As far as I know, English-speaking cultures really respect privacy, and I fancy it a lot, which truly makes people live independently and take charge of their own lives. I would like to learn more about this.